Hi, I'm Kath, and welcome back to 10,000 Push-Ups for Jake. Jake is my nephew, and just before Christmas, he was diagnosed with a neurodegenerative disease called Friedreich's ataxia. And I am attempting to do 10,000 push-ups as a fundraising challenge to raise money for medical treatment. There is no cure for this condition, but there is new treatment available, just not in the UK. So to access this treatment, which will be life-changing, we need to go to Germany, and it's going to cost £300,000. So to help with funding that treatment, I am trying to do 10,000 push-ups. So far, fundraising is going well. We have raised almost £95,000 from over 2,000 donors. So thank you to everyone who has given or shared information about Jake so that we can try and reach our target. Obviously, there's still a long way to go. So again, I ask that you keep liking and sharing to see how many people we can reach and hopefully reach our fundraising target. So in the last video, I had reached 1,450 push-ups. That took 10 days. I have now done another 1,000 push-ups over 5 days, so I'm getting faster. So in total, I've now done 2,450 push-ups. So my daily average last time was 145, and that has increased to 200. So progress is being made, albeit painful. Doing these push-ups has surprisingly become a fairly easy, has fitted into my daily routine quite easily. And kind of reflecting on that, knowing that building new habits and motivation aren't always my forte, it's obviously linked to being motivated for a cause that is very close to my heart, because there's no way otherwise I'd have reached week 2. I think I might have got to day 2 or 3. Thought it was an interesting challenge and then got distracted or given up or been tired. But regardless of what's been happening, I have been quite blinkered in my approach. So I'm fairly confident that I can complete the challenge, and I'm now starting to think about how well I'd like to complete the challenge, so how many days I would like to take, and whether I have a maximum press-up target that I'd like to reach in one set. So I started at 10 push-ups in each set when I started, and quickly managed to get that up to 25. I've kind of stagnated there a little bit, so I'm still kind of just building the muscle and the routine of being able to do that many. It does feel like going beyond that is going to be a bit of a challenge, but we'll see. It's still early in the process. So I think there'll probably be a regular What Hurts Now section. Having not done much exercise for the last 10 years since getting pregnant with my first child, this is a bit of a shock to my system, to say the least. So last video I had quite a sore lower back, That has not gone away, but it's not got worse. So one of the tips in the chat was to try press-up bars, which I tried to live quite minimally, so I didn't want to invest in something I wasn't going to use again. So I improvised with a couple of dumbbells on some carpet so they didn't roll around, and I felt very unstable on them. So I'm not sure that is going to work for me. But I have been using my core to make sure my lower back is supported a bit more, and that seems to be stopping it from getting worse. So I'm going to continue with that and some back mobilization exercises to reduce the stiffness and see how it goes. I discovered my new What Hurts Now unexpectedly one evening. I was doing my daughter's bedtime and she was reading her bedtime book to me, and I thought I'd have a little lie down on the carpet whilst I listened to her read. And I think our bodies are quite intuitive sometimes, to kind of know what is needed. As I lay there, I outstretched both of my arms, which is not something I would usually do, only to find that they wouldn't touch the floor. Even when I pushed, I couldn't get both of them to touch the floor at the same time. So after less than 2 weeks of press-ups, the shock to my chest muscles has contracted them so far that I have lost quite a bit of mobility there. So I now need to do some chest stretching to make sure that I don't make that any worse. With a desk job where I tend to hunch a bit as well, that combination of those two is not going to work out well for me. So now I've got doing my press-ups, doing my back mobility exercises, and chest stretching. So extras to my routine. But yeah, that was completely unexpected, though I think that one's probably more short-term than the lower back. So we'll see what hurts now next week. I did, however, manage to find the time to go and see my masseuse. I've been seeing Jenny Dove for I think a couple of years now. Again, I'm not great at self-care. I think lots of parents will resonate with that we often put our kids first and forget to look after ourselves. But I intentionally decided to try some self-care a couple of years ago, and Jenny is fantastic. I really look forward to going to see her, usually about once a month. And yes, it was a well-needed visit, and I've made sure to book my next session in with her. I'll link her details in the notes. So if you are in the kind of Ware area in Hertfordshire or around kind of Loughton, Thaden Boys area in Essex, then do check her out. I highly recommend her. So that's it for this week's update. I shall plough on with my press-ups. Please do like, share, subscribe, do all the things to help spread the message. We have been overwhelmed by the kindness of friends, family, colleagues, neighbours, and strangers. So please do share, because there are lots of kind people out in our communities who are willing to give a little bit of their hard-earned money to help us and to help Jake. Okay, so you can read more about Jake's story on his Just Giving page, which is linked in the channel notes. There's also a link to a Granada News segment that Jake, my brother, and Jake's grandparents did. So you can see and hear direct from them how this is affecting them. So thanks again for watching and stay tuned. See you next time.